Hello and welcome to Main Street Hingham. It is the 4th of July, arguably one of the most favorite holidays in this community. We're setting up and getting ready for the parade, and boy, do we have an interview for you today with Jim Murphy, the chair or co-chair this year.
Co-chair this year. Yeah.
Co-chair this year of the Hingham 4th of July parade. Jim, welcome to our setup, and
Glad to be here.
We want to share with viewers really what has happened and how this parade has transformed through the committee. And so for you specifically, this will be your last year on the committee, and we thought, what a great time to talk to you to get a perspective of how this whole event has evolved.
Well, where do I start? 18 years ago, a friend of mine was running the parade, and I gave her a call, and I had just gone off the Conservation Commission, and I had a year without being involved in the town politics or town hall or anything at all, and I kind of missed it. So I called my friend Mary Ann Blackmer, and I said, Mary Ann,
Love her.
Thinking about joining the parade committee. Do you have a role? Do you have a problem? Can I jump in and just help? And she said, you bet, come on in. And so we started. I joined her, and the first meeting we had like 4 or 5 people, and I said, is that all we have? And she said, well, we get more, closer to the parade, and we get more the day of the parade. And I'm like, okay. So we needed more people, and we didn't have many funds in every year. That was the crunch. We had to raise $40,000 at least for the parade, and that was huge. It was we tried silent auctions, we did golf tournaments, we did different things, and we were all going after we along with other groups in town, civic entities, and things that people participate in. They all need money too, and we're all hitting the same people, and so we're like, we got to find a different way. And so as the parade went along, I fixed the issue that she had that we talked about, and then 2010 was coming up, and it was going to be 375th anniversary of the town, and we knew that was going to be a giant production, so we had to really step up our fundraising, and we did all sorts of things, and we also needed more people. So I think I brought in, I twisted arms, and I brought in probably 10 or 12 people.
That's the true measure of a community volunteer, is not only donating your own time and your own talent, but bringing in others, because many hands make light work.
Right.
So I'm so glad that I think the whole community is, that you reached out to the committee and Mary Ann Blackmer. One of our favorite quotes in the studio about this holiday is a documentary you were involved with, produced with Christina Yanata on our team. And Mary Ann's quote, you might not come home for Christmas, but you come home for the 4th of July. That's the magnitude of this event and what it means to this community.
And her story is really funny. I don't know if you remember it.
We have to get her on
she's
camera
told
more,
it.
I think.
Her story, she was dating her now husband Stan of probably 40 years.
Right.
And they were on Nantucket. And she was having a great time, and Stan was raised sailing, and Mary Ann wasn't, so she was loving everything on the water. And they were on Nantucket, and Stan's like, well, on the 4th, we got to go home. And she's like, what? What? She's like, oh, yeah.
I love it here on Nantucket.
Yeah. Stan said, no, we go home to watch the parade, I think at his aunt's house, along the parade route. And so Mary Ann, okay, I guess that's what we're doing. And
right.
So that was her first introduction to the parade.
And then it sounds like it, spread. Her joy and enthusiasm spread. You really stepped into this. So my understanding is that you've been on the committee 18 years, but that you have chaired for 15. Is that correct? And that you had a lot of ideas and milestones for the committee. So it sounds like things really evolved during that time period of your serving with branding, a logo, certain requirements and safety requirements for the parade, the 50 Flags campaign. If you could talk about that and the large amount of fundraising it accomplishes. Is it 80% of what's required? You need
50.
More than 50?
It's at least 50%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a successful campaign.
It's huge. And as I said earlier, we're not going out to the store owners for, can you give us this to auction off? Can you make this donation?
Oh, it's labor intensive.
We're still asking for corporations to, donate money, and we do get the next layer of level of fundraising is those corporate donors.
Sure.
And then the third leg of our fundraising stool is the buttons and the swag that we.
Yes, where's my?
Yes, I don't even have one yet.
Yes, button in frame.
And even so, we created the logo, and that was somebody had a local business in Hingham. She had used this international internet means of getting a logo for her business, and so she told us about it, and it was a $500 lump sum. We're like, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. And so the logo that we have for the parade, I think it was an artist, a designer from France or Spain, that we ended up. She designed this, and it was fabulous. And so we've been able to use that. Our idea was, in a committee, we said, just like the Taste of Hingham, the strawberry that they used for that, we would say, we need something like that strawberry for the Taste of Hingham. We need something like
something
that.
Iconic.
Okay, you see it, and it features, the Uncle Sam hat, so it's right there. It is really great. And so then a couple of years later, we were talking, and someone suggested, the football team has flamingos. You get flocked, and we started talking. Is there any way we can use the flag in a similar fashion?
Right.
And at the time we had several veteran families on the committee, and a couple of them took me aside and said, "You have to be really careful. The flag is so important to people." Veterans, whether you're a veteran family or not, it's just so important, and it's a razor blade edge.
Right.
And so I said, well, before anything...
To use it, but be respectful.
Oh, you have to be respectful.
Yeah.
You can't, there was one phrase, you can't make it a verb.
Ah, that's a great way to think of it.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. And it can't touch the ground. And
it's a proper
everything.
noun.
Everything.
Use it in that way.
So the first thing I did was call Keith German. And just said,
former veteran services officer for Hingham, long time.
Yeah, several tours, and he re-upped after 9/11, and so we talked, and he went through the code book for flags, and he said, you know what, I think this is a dynamite way to use the flag, show the patriotism across the town. And
it's such a strong visual, Jim. It really, really is.
And he gave us the first 300 flags after he'd used them on Memorial Day weekend. He said, well, here are your first, 300 flags. And we came up with, 50 flags, $50, 50 states, for a week.
It's perfect and really cemented in the community. And so we're getting ready for the parade. We grabbed Jim, everyone, while he's working. The 2025 parade is about to commence. So, Jim, thank you.
Okay.
Just want to end with just a quick memory. You've experienced a lot of parades, both probably on the sidelines and then for 18 years behind the scenes. Is there one memory that stands out that we could leave our audience with?
The one that I had to push back at the town in 2021, they really wanted to cancel the parade.
I remember
2020
that, yes.
They canceled the
yes, right.
No, we couldn't have the parade. But 2021 they wanted to cancel it, and they gave me a couple of choices, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go for the third choice, the one you're not saying. I said, I want to continue along, do our stuff as if we're going to have a parade, and if the Governor Baker doesn't fully open up, then we can't have the parade. But otherwise, if he does even a week out, we're ready.
Yes, you're ready.
And he
Instead of waiting for that
And he did
answer.
about 3 weeks out. He opened it up, and other towns were scrambling.
Yeah.
We already had everyone lined up.
Well, your Harbor Media crew had your back because you kept us looped in, so we prepared too. And I remember that comeback for our whole team.
Yeah.
It was emotional to be back. So, Jim, thank you very much. We're going to let you get back to your job, but thank you for stopping by and sharing this with our viewers. We really appreciate it.
Okay.
Happy 4th of July, Jim.
Okay.
Take care.
And that's my phone. Thanks.